Alright. Virtual machines with no network connectivity. Initial check always. Think first. Think other virtual machine on the same network, same VLAN to determine the scope of the problem and think the name first and then FQTN and then IP. VM1, VM1.vclass.local and then IP. The result of it can help you narrow the scope of the problem. DNS is the problem or IP address is the problem. Use top-down approach to troubleshoot a problem. You start from the guest operating system and work your way down to the ESXi. So first of all, applications level, guest OS level, we need to make our investigation, communicating with the applications owners, make sure correct IP address configured inside the virtual machines, your guest OS based firewall not blocking the applications, traffic applications related to all. That also we need to figure out. Virtual machines level, the port group name does not exist. The virtual network adapter is not connected. So VMs levels setting we need to see. And then ESXi host, underlying issues with the ESXi network connectivity. VMs to switch no problem, but switch to uplinks to physical network. Storage resource connection also does not respond to ping packet reply. If you have heavy connections, too much CPU memory consumed by the other virtual machine, so VMs not having sufficient CPU memory to handle your ping packets. Possible causes: IP setting, firewall problems, misconfigured wrong subnet mask, wrong default gateway. With firewall might cause the VM network connectivity problem. So verify the TCP IP setting, right IP address, right subnet mask, default gateway, DNS. And then the firewall in the guest operating system might be blocking the traffic. Ensure that firewall does not block any required port of the applications. The port level misconfiguration we can examine through the vSphere client also, or as well as through your command lines also. View the distributors with port group IDs on the ESXi by running this commands. Correlate the port group ID with the name of the port groups by using this commands. And verify network adapter is connected to the correct port groups. So you can see network names and their display virtual machines port groups. Similarly, VMs level, make sure you have configured the right network adapters. First you can see that from here, the network adapter, and this name we have existing at the ESXi level or not. ESXi network connectivity problems. Storage, resource contention on the ESXi host can cause network connectivity issues. Verify that VM has no underlying issues with storage, whatever storage the virtual machine using, and that it is not having resource contention. How much resources VM need, that much resource we have available at the hypervisor level. Look for the problem in the ESXi host network configuration, for example, port group IDs, feed, flag settings, physical network links, NIC taming configuration. And to eliminate NIC failure, physical configuration issue, connect the VM virtual that uses NIC taming minimum 2 LAN cards. So you have redundant
क्या अभी
network
पीना
like
शुरू किया
redundant network. In a switch where we have
हमारा भी वही
redundant
हाल है मेरे
network,
जैसा
but
पानी नहीं
multiple
पीते
adapters available.
पानी तो कम पीते, अब इधर आके पीने लगे हैं। पहले तो ऐसे ही था।
So this is sometime issue we face. ESXi frequently disconnecting from the vCenter server. After 30 to 90 seconds, it automatically disconnects. Remain up to some time disconnect, again connect. The problem is drop, lock, lost heartbeat packets. So heartbeat sharing happen between vCenter and ESXi host. And whenever your vCenter successfully receive this heartbeat packet, it's showing to you connected. But if it did get continuously reports heartbeat packets showing disconnected. So this often occurs. So what we can do is to resolve this kind of problems. Sometimes the vCenter showing connected, and sometimes ESXi sometimes showing disconnected, sometimes automatically showing connected in the vCenter server. So we should know we have now only option vCenter as a virtual appliance. So it contains a Photon OS IP tables firewall because of Linux operating system in vCenter server, and it's a PostgreSQL database. So this is might be running in one another dedicated ESXi host, which ESXi is a part of your management cluster. But somehow the virtual machine, this vCenter server, must be receiving from all ESXi hosts the traffic. In traffic, they use the VMK0. ESXi host use the VMK0 on that particular physical LAN card. So from here, another physical network get involved here, go to inside the virtual machines. So this vCenter as a virtual machine continuously receiving heartbeat from all the ESXi. ESXi will send a heartbeat to vCenter to signal that the host is accessible by the host management network. That is VMK0. Use top-down approach to troubleshoot the problem. You start from the vCenter server and work your way down to the physical hardware. So vCenter server, remember we use the UDP port 902. Make sure it is not blocked at the vCenter server level by the vCenter server firewall or by the ESXi host level firewall. Also we have host firewall ESXi level. So both hands we need to check. And then finally, we have made sure sufficient resources available in the ESXi host. We do not have congested network with ESXi vCenter server. If the port locked by the firewall, if the firewall is enabled, UDP port 90 is blocked. If the port blocked by the vCenter server client
NC-Z.
to resolve this problem, adjust the firewall setting.
Network
We
capture.
need to allow this port 902.
NC-Z.
If port is not
Then we
configured,
ping
disable the
और उसके बाद
firewall
port number.
just to simply check whether the firewall rules blocking this 90. Just disable temporarily and make sure your all ESXi starts on again connected. Then enable it, and then we need to allow the particular port in the firewall. In the firewall is configured to affect port, ensure that firewall is not blocking port 902. If it is, then we can change the through the command lines because it uses the IP tables inside the Photon Linux operating system. Examine firewall rules from the command lines by using this command. The two possibilities we have: either remove this firewall rules to stop in the 902 traffic, or we need to modify instead of reject, we need to accept the traffic 902. Or sometime for the security purpose, we generally do not use default code. We change the default code to someone else. So you can see here, we also need to check whether we are using the default code or we are not
सिनेरियो
using the
उससे
default code.
क्वेश्चन बन गया
So that information
VPXA फाइल में जैसे किसी ने जाके पोर्ट नंबर चेंज कर दिया
configurations file. VPXA dot
902
CRT,
कर दिया
and you can see
उसको
here
902 होना
it is configured to use different
बन
port
गया
at
ना?
902. By default, VPX agent on the ESXi host send heartbeat to the vCenter server VPX link through the 902 UDP port. Problem might occur if host is configured to send heartbeat over the port other than 902. That becomes to go through this file.
By
Of that
mistakenly you
location.
put the 0.
So, if you prefer to use non-default mode for the heartbeat, ensure that ESXi firewall does not block it.
ये तो खाली
So,
सिनेरियो बन जाएगा इसका
we
ट्रैवल
must need to configure if you are not using the default default ports, you want to use some other ports. So that port also we need to modify here in the rules and allow the traffic for the outbound as well as for the inbound. Taking heartbeat port numbers configured during vCenter server installation. By default, heartbeat we use 902, but if vCenter server is installed using command line installer, you can use any other port than the default for the heartbeat traffic, and we must need to see. The clients using SSH and run following command to find the heartbeat ports. When you run this command, it will show you whatever the port it is using, default one or something other port. And through the vSphere client also we can check this one, whether the vCenter is using the default 902 port or something else. To resolve network congestion, you can apply short-term or long-term both solution. Short-term solution to keep the ESXi host connected, increase the timeout limit in second from the vCenter
ये
server.
सिनेरियो तब बन सकता है
We have this setting. That is a temporary solution. We know very well right now we have heavy congestion. If vCenter server dropping the packet, heartbeat packet, so it's showing ESXi disconnected. But I want to temporarily avoid this condition because this is just for next 1 hour. We have heavy traffic. After that, everything will become normals. What you can do, the timeout when you can increase. From here, going to see it. Long-term solution, yes, you must need to resolve if you know this kind of traffic all the time we have. So we must need to do something. So what we can do, you can use network IO control. Network IO control version 3 available only if you are using distributed switch. Yesterday, if you remember, we discussed the 3 different values: reservation, limit, share. Previously, it was available only for the CPU and memory, but network IO control version we have three parameters: reservation, limit, share value. Also available for the network traffic. By using network IO control, certain amount of bandwidth you can dedicate for its management traffic. So if physical LAN cards someone make down by using this command, so you can see the output is physically, if you see uplink is connected to the ESXi in one hand, another hand it is connected to the physical switch. you have proper connectivity, but someone made through command line, it is a down. So we must need to check it. First run this command, see the status of all the physical LAN card must be showing up. If it's showing down, then if you look at the physical network connectivity, everything is okay. It means what? Only through command line, you need to turn it up from the down by using this command. First use this command. Once you notice one of the physical LAN card is status down, and that ESXi is subversion affecting, you need to turn it on. Preventing loss of management network. As we know, the management network is very important. It means VMK0 we are talking about, because if your ESXi is a part of your vSphere HA cluster, so this network also known as a heartbeat network, master to all subordinate to master. In every second, heartbeat sharing happen over this management network. That's why the management network also known as a heartbeat network. So because of this importance of this VMK0, why not make it a network for the management traffic? And you have also option network rollback. We can use this network rollback option also. What does it mean? If you make any changes, might be you configured a wrong VLAN for the VMK0, wrong subnet, wrong IP address. And due to this wrong configuration, your ESXi lost its communication with vCenter server. And network rollback feature automatically revert all the existing wrong configuration to the last valid configuration when it has proper communication with vCenter server. So for example, if you try to change the IP address of your management VM kernel interface, the vSphere client returns an error. Network configuration change disconnected the host ESXi 0 from the vCenter server and has been rolled back. So this is also a good feature. We need to use it. About host networking rollback, might be several reasons, configurations we did. Due to these old configuration, we lost our communication, and ESXi to vCenter server communications get lost. If a host lost network connectivity as a result of change in the network configuration rollback is triggered on the host. Several events can trigger host network rollback. If you put a wrong DNS entry, duplex speed not matching, wrong IP address subnet mask, or wrong nicknaming policy be configured. Due to any wrong configuration, we lost communication between ESXi and vCenter server, automatically observe that thing and trigger the rollback action. If a network disconnects for any of these reasons, the task fails and the host revert to the last valid configuration automatically. So this is what they're trying to show you. You have BMK0 being used to send the heartbeat to the vCenter ESXi host. So ESXi communicate with vCenter over the management network BMK0. ESXi lost the connection to vCenter server if management network goes down. IP address of the VM kernel code was modified and VLAN configured at the VMK0 wrong VLAN tag input or physical NIC failed. What you can do, if physical LAN card goes down, then you have no other option than make a redundant network. To prevent a lost connection between ESXi host vCenter, build a redundancy into the management network by providing minimum 2 LAN cards. If one goes down, you still can use the another LAN cards. You can configure active standby, or you can configure even active active. You have all the time redundant part 1 not working, you still are able to send the heartbeat ESXi to the vCenter server. If you lost the VMK0 management network, so this is the last alternate. We have DCUI. By using the DCUI, someone put wrong subnet, you lost the network connectivity. To network, you are not able to connect to ESXi in order to fix wrong subnet mask wrong IP address. So then you need to be through DCUI connect to ESXi, select the IP version 4 or 6, whatever you want to use, and change it. Another option also we have here, restore manually your network. Restore network setting, restore standard switch, restore VDS. Repair the management network on a misconfigured standard or distributed switch. Restore network setting option deletes all the current network setting except for the management. Management is keep as it is. So allow to connect to ESXi
बैंक वाले दुखी कर देते हैं
and then
आधे तो बैंक वाले दुखी कर देते
सोए रहते हैं दो बार
हैं अभी देखो 4-5 बार
if the management network minimum is available, we have another feature called host profile. How many of you are aware about host profile? What is host profile? What is the use of host profile?
You have to duplicate the setting from multiple users.
So to make identical networking configuration,
जितना तेलंगाना है ना
ESXi host can become one of the hosts to all possible networking configuration, make a host profile, and for rest of the other ESXi attach the host profile. Fine. You can see immediately all ESXi become identical from the network perspective. You can also use this one. Apply the whenever new ESXi added in a data center, apply the host profile. Immediately this ESXi gets similar kind of network connectivity configuration. Okay, so now we're talking about distributed switch architecture. If you see the distributed switch architecture, it is divided into 2 planes, control plane and IO plane, also you can see data plane. Control plane completely exists inside the vCenter server. And we know very well, vCenter server write each and every its configuration in a database, PostgreSQL database. So at the vCenter server level, we can create this VDS, and it is the vCenter server responsibility to put the same distributed switch in all the connected ESXi. So you logged in a vCenter server. In the vCenter server at the data center level, you create a distributed switch. Then number of ESXi you added. You added number of ESXi 10. So it means you're telling to 10 ESXi hosts. You're telling to this vCenter server, same VDS, I want to make available in these 10 ESXi. So vCenter server use the management network communicate to the ESXi host, and every ESXi host create the same distributed switch. You're sitting in a vCenter server creating one-time port group 1. So you can find in all 10 ESXi hosts port group 1, port group 1. Then you configure VLAN 10. So VLAN 10, VLAN 10, VLAN 10, all 10 ESXi receiving the same configuration. So you are doing one-time configuration, the same configuration pushed down to all ESXi hosts. How many ESXi you got? 10, 20 or more. So all ESXi getting the similar kind of configuration. So if you have 10 ESXi, the same distributed switch becomes available for all 10 ESXi hosts. So it means what?
भैया याद
We
दिलाने
cannot
के
say
लिए
we
बोले
have
थे क्या?
10 distributors. What I would say,
याद दिलाते हैं।
I created one distributed switch, and that is span to an ESXi. All 10 ESXi hosts using the same distributed switch. That means I can control this distributed switch only from the vCenter server. If you do not have vCenter, you cannot create it, you cannot modify it. All creation, modification, deletion we can do at the vCenter server level. But vCenter puts this configuration in your own connected ESXi host. ESXi level, we get this distributed switch based IO plane, data plane. And virtual machine always connecting to the IO plane, not to the control plane. But vCenter itself for virtual machine. So these virtual machine logically I can see on the vCenter server where they are running in the ESXi. Because it is a ESXi which provides CPU and storage network bandwidth. So you have suppose created one distributed switch successfully, some virtual machine connected to that distributed switch, and suddenly administrator mistakenly shut down this vCenter virtual machine. Will it impact your virtual machine traffic or not? What do you think? Mistakenly someone shut down the vCenter virtual appliance, and we have a customer-based virtual machine running here. Is there any impact for this virtual machine?
No.
From the networking
No.
perspective? No. So it is just like you have a standard switch only, and suddenly vCenter, someone shut down or vCenter crash. There is no impact for the customer-based virtual machine. If you shut down the vCenter server or vCenter server get crashed, because VM still okay running in the ESXi host, but we lost the centralized management. So same thing, if you lost vCenter server, there is no impact for any kind of virtual machines networking. They're still using the same distributed switch, same port group, same VLAN number without any problem, because we lost only control plane. The IO plane still works. Has no problem in the ESXi. So distributed switch gives you centralized management, plus this is one of the great advantages, plus it gives you some additional features which you can't get from the standard switch. Like network IO control version, only available in a distributed switch. Private VLANs, if you want to use, only available in a distributed switch. This kind of some feature wise we have a difference. But if you say this is also layer 2 switch, and it is also software based switch, just like your logical switch, standard switch. This is also layer 2 switch, and we do not have layer 3 concept inside the hypervisors. Whether you are using NSX or not, still you have layer 2, layer 2, layer 2, standard distributed logical switch. All are layer 2 switch. So this is already we have discussed how the virtual machine generate traffic. It has to go through with all these check. And once the traffic arrive in a distributed switch, it's also need to check where I have to forward the traffic. If you have more than one adapters, it need to check the which under the theming which load balancing policy you are using. Have you configured network IO control? Yes. What is the cap? What kind of traffic you have configured? Follow that all. This is also we have seen already. Because a distributed switch is a vCenter server component, you view virtual machine vCenter server ESXi host logs files to troubleshoot network related problems. VM's level changes, vmware.log, host d.log, ESXi, and this is a networking storage related issue. Easily becomes to know once you start watching this vmkernel.log file. And this is also host related information. We can see the client specific information also we can see. And this is also distributed switch level rollback. So in the distributed switch, you change the MTU size, theming failover, VLAN, wrong traffic shaping. Due to that, it lost its communication with vCenter server, automatically triggered the distributed switch level rollback. If an invalid configurations occur, one or more hosts might be out of synchronization with the distributed switch. Trigger the rollback. Recovering from the distributed switch misconfigurations, you have also option if you are using distributed switch at individual specific distributed switch level, you can perform the backup. You have 4 distributed switch, but in one distributed switch, if you want, you can perform the backup. The distributed switch with entire ESXi goes down, you can make a new ESXi, and immediately from the backup you can restore the switch. But this backup that you can use for 2 purposes. You can use export or import, backup, distributed switch configuration, restore, reset the configuration, or you have also option import, export from the vCenter 1, import into vCenter server 2 and use it. So you can create this backup as a template also. First, do all possible configuration, create port groups, configure NIC theming, configure other options, then take the backup. And this backup you can export from the vCenter 1, import to the vCenter 2. So in the vCenter 2, we immediately get similar kind of distributed switch. And then once you get the distributed switch, then small changes is possible. You can make once you restore it by importing it. Immediately you get all the configuration and minor changes if you need that is that. So whenever any distributed switch level changes has been taken place, you must need to again perform the backup. Most recent changes you can capture in the recent backup.
Hello. Yeah.
Migrating networks from standard switch to distributed switch.
Hello.
Yes, so first we initially start using the standard switch, then our organization plan to use distributed switch. So once you have distributed switch, you have option. You can migrate existing old VM kernel port group, existing old virtual machine to the distributed switch from the standard switch. BMK0, BMK1, BMK2, you can migrate without any disconnectivity from standard switch to distributed switch. Similarly, all virtual machines which currently using standard switch, But after having a distributed switch, you want to move that. So you can move all the existing network, whether it is storage network, management, vMotion. In these all three cases, we are talking about VM kernel code. BMK0, BMK1, BMK2. Redundancy might really have multiple. And here, we're talking about virtual machine code. Pick up the virtual machine, move container switch to destination without any loss. NetDBS command also display information about your distributed switch configuration, and configuration information comes from a binary file. From that location, dbs data.db file, ESXi host maintains and updates DBS data file in every 5 minutes intervals. And what commands it supports, with the help, you can retrieve those all commands and you can use those. In addition to displaying information, you can also run this to modify your distributed switch configuration. However, this is recommended to run under your VMware Global Support whenever it is a risky. So generally, when they say unsupported, it means when the VMware team telling to you, okay, use this one. So under the VMware guidance, we can generally use these commands. So we have very less theory and more times we have for the labs. So remaining half days we're going to perform only for these labs. Specifically, this is just to monitor, verify, display, recover on the vSphere client, and this is from where our script-based labs will start on the lab 7. Run a script, it's going to create some problem, damage your existing all the environment, and as per given now, they say try to power on the VM and look into the VM. VM is not able to connect to the gateway, so it is not able to connect to the gateway, so VM cannot access the internet. So what is the problem? And from lab 7 onwards, whatever problems you are going to face, try to treat this problem like your production-based problem. But do not directly start solving the problem. You must need to read first log files, hostd.log, vpxd.log. VM kernel is very important. Because of this module, entire is dedicated for the network. So don't forget to look into the vmkernel.log, and when you start reading those, it is top to bottom. Latest option, latest information, always you can find it at the last of the file. You can use cat parameters to see the immediately few lines at in this vmkernel.log file, or you can use VI editor also. And if you are using VI editor, then the logs file names will open entire file. Immediately you get those down, and last few lines always be very good. So there, 7, 8, this is a script-based lab, and we had many scripts under this lab 7 and lab 8. So all these we must need to complete. So what is right now the time? It is 12:36. Still we have around 25 minutes. So at least I think you can cover right now with lab 5, lab 6. Only 2 labs you can do now. 7 and 8 we can do after the lunch. Alright? Yes, sir. And labs you must need to complete, otherwise no benefit of this training, because here you can see there is no too much theory. So troubleshooting skills, if you really want to learn, you must need to do each and every labs. From each and every lab, you must learn something new, and that is very helpful in your day-to-day production environment.
Girish, just to reconfirm, now we have to do lab 5 and 6, right?
Yes, if you have completed till lab 4,
Hmm.
you complete 5 and 6.
Yeah, I've completed the lab.
Yeah, so then 5 and 6 right now you complete, then you can take your lunch break and come back, then we can see the 7 and 8.
Thank you.
Yeah.